What up, world? How y'all feeling, scholars? We hope y'all are doing very well. We hope y'all are doing good. We happy that y'all joining us again for yet another installment of the Educated Brothers podcast. But as always, we want to do our typical shout outs. We want to shout out our boy Steve and Marv, the whole family.
Bravery up,
you already know. Shout out our boy. I call him. I don't want to call him by his government. We're gonna call him No Talent Beats. Shout out to our boy No Talent Beats. Somebody with the government out there, man. But yeah, we back for another installment, y'all. Scholars, we're so happy that y'all are joining us yet again. For the new people, the new individuals that are with us, welcome. Those of you that left and came back, well, we knew y'all was going to do that anyway.
Season 2 been going crazy, dog.
Season 2 been going crazy, dog. You know what I'm saying? We finally got our shots up. You know, shots going in. It's like, okay, I like that. Let's try that again.
We ain't done it yet. But
not yet.
The hamstrings getting a little bit better.
I mean, they're getting a little bit better.
Calf muscles getting stronger.
I was just telling Sean off camera that we really get excited for these. I don't know. A lot of people probably do what we do, and they have their way of doing it. But like, this is our home, so we have fun when we come here. Like when we say we shout people out, it's like, we was really talking to producers. Those are our peoples. Like we really rock with them. So we do have fun
when we get here. They make us bend the knee.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they do that to you because Steve and Marv like me pretty much. So I don't know about you, man. Maybe you gotta do a little bit more.
I walk in and be like, get out.
But before we jump into, I love the drops. Before we get into our shenanigans, as we always do, we have another guest, and we would like that guest to introduce themselves, and you can plug anything that you'd like. We never like to say the guest name. We want you to introduce yourself to our scholars and tell them a little about yourself.
I'm Alex.
What up, Alex?
What's going on, Alex? I don't know what else you want me to say.
Where can they follow you at on social media?
I'm on Instagram, ITZ_Lex.
Okay.
That's where you'll find me.
All right, y'all heard that? ITZ_LEX, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Alex also, he's not going to tell you, but Alex also has like 8 businesses. Alex is an entrepreneur. He's also a multi-millionaire.
Yep, all that. Y'all see them people on Canal Street like pulling things out their car and putting them down on the tables.
That's Alex.
Yeah. Except his is authentic. Yeah, his is real. So that Poochie that you buying, Alex ain't selling that. He ain't selling that one.
He got a big ass key on it. What is that? That's not Gap. That's Map.
It's Nike.
But how you feeling, D? Everything good, though?
Bro, I'm actually really good today.
That's what's up.
I'm really good, bro. When I tell you, I had an epiphany. Maybe about.
I know somebody named Epiphany.
You do. You do.
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't think you did. I hate you. I had an epiphany last week about like some things that we think about. We sometimes talk about it, like your mindset and like why things happen the way that they do and stuff like that. I had a revelation about myself where I understood why I think the way that I do about certain things.
Facts.
Like it's deeper than just like, my upbringing and trauma and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of things that I've told myself over the years that are like, have become my new norm. Mm-hmm. So I was able to identify some of those things, get a handle on it, start getting better with certain things. Because, bro, I'm only getting wiser, but I also want to make sure that it's not like I'm getting older and not making moves for myself in a smart and strategic kind of way.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm today, brother, I am good. God has blessed me with yet another day to be on this green earth. So, I'm going to take this day and do something different.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I actually, you follow Eric Thomas? He's a motivational speaker.
Yes.
E.T.
E.T.
Yeah. He had a
He had
a sermon.
Screaming at people.
Yeah, but like, it's only screaming if you're not listening.
You didn't want it enough. I'm like, okay.
He says that there's like there's a lot of things that could be going wrong, but one thing that I start to do now is I wake up every day and I say, this is the day that the Lord has made. So I'm going to revel and I'm going to be joyous and glad to be here for yet another one of them.
That's what's up.
So I'm good, brother. I can't complain. Sean, how you feeling though, bro?
Well, speaking of epiphanies and realizing things.
I thought you were gonna talk about the person that you know.
No. I'm good for the most part, but I came to like a really. So I was on. I'm always on Twitter. Twitter's like my newspaper. I wake up, Twitter. Go to sleep, Twitter. On the toilet, Twitter. On lunch break, Twitter. But anyway. Of course. So there was a tweet that basically said, the wire to the NBA. Which NBA player would be a certain the Wire character?
Never mind.
Now, you know how my brain works. I see one thing and it goes like 10 million other places. So now I'm sitting there thinking about how the dude who created the tweet was making sense about the people he was talking about. And then I put another thing together. Do you realize that The Wire and Game of Thrones basically has the same fucking concept?
Elaborate.
In The Wire, what is their ultimate goal? Like everybody, all the main characters, whether it's the police, the drug dealers, what is their ultimate goal? You're
going to be mad.
Go ahead. You've never seen The Wire, have you?
I've never seen The Wire.
Oh my God, Alex, you've seen The Wire? All right, so I can't get into all of it. You know, we got to show this shit. Listen. I can't get into all of it. They haven't seen it, so I'm gonna be brief.
I mean, I'm not gonna go home and watch it. So
I get it.
You can say what you need to say.
But it's not spoilers or anything. I'm just getting right to the point of it.
Okay.
Because you know I like to go off the deep end and talk a lot. Blah, blah, blah. We're gonna get right to it.
Look at you. That's knowing yourself right there.
That's growth.
There it goes.
The
more you know.
The more you know. So basically, the point of The Wire, everybody's basically trying to take control of Baltimore City. Whether it's the police trying to take control and have it be peaceful, or the drug dealers trying to take control so they can run the drug trade that comes in and out of the city.
Now I know where you're going with
now,
it.
have you watched Game of Thrones?
I've seen Game of Thrones.
So you get my point.
So
You
I know
seen
where
Game
you're
of
going with
Thrones?
it.
Yeah. Alex, do you have HBO Max?
I do.
What are you doing, man? Both of those shows are up
Yo,
there.
but I ain't gonna hold you. Binging the Game of Thrones.
I restarted it
nah,
again, bro.
binging is not easy, yo.
I just restarted it again.
Binging that show is not easy.
Because you when you stop, you're like, oh my God, I need to watch the rest of it.
Them shows is that those episodes like an hour and some change, yo.
When you get a chance, what type of shows are you into? Let me ask you that.
I watch a lot of like DC.
Okay.
A lot of DC movies, like on HBO Max. I do watch Titans.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I've been
heard good
following.
things.
I've been following that a lot.
Okay. So it's not that far off from things that are usually like DC or Marvel related. I think you would like it. You should give Game of Thrones a chance, because I was originally against it when it first came out. I wasn't for it, but then they eventually was like, hey, they would talk about it every day, and I would make jokes. Like I watched it, I'm like, oh shit, remember when Dragon Ball?
It's like all he would do is just bring up something that's on like Instagram or whatever. Like, you see the Dragon Ball fire?
They're like, yo, you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
It's like you seen the trailer, right?
So
That's what you're talking about.
After like season 6, I actually binged the show because our boy Yum, shout out to Yums, had the box set DVD. So I was watching that shit like years after they saw it and was having reactions dumb late. Like, it was certain episodes that like really graphic. I was going to work in bad moods. Like, yo, this shit is crazy, bro. That show's really good. When you get a chance to watch it. So, but Dante knew my point I was getting at.
Once you said that, I'm like, oh, I know where you're going with this.
Because what's the point? Tell the people what's the point of Game of Thrones.
Well, the point of Game of Thrones is we need somebody to basically not take over, but be in charge of all the realms. So, you know, to the point of The Wire, all the hoods, we need to be able to control everything. That's Game of Thrones. It's just on a more mythological level. Like, we're going to use these dragons to kill you as opposed to this rocket launcher to kill you. So it's like, you know, it lines up. I get what you're saying.
They not selling crack in most of the episodes. They're selling pussy.
Yeah. Basically.
So, listen, when I came to that realization, I'm like, oh shit. It's the same show. And the even funnier part is Littlefinger from Game of Thrones is in The Wire. He's one of the fucking political mayors. So I'm like, yo, it's the same shit.
So he went to the writers and was like, yo, I got a concept for y'all. Before you say anything, listen to my concept. He took everything from there and was like, we got dragons, we got kings, we got queens. They was like, we love that. He's like, yes.
Nah, he went
Money.
to the writers of The Wire. He was like, yo, there's this book called Game of Thrones that's out, but they ain't make it a show yet. We can flip it and make it about niggas.
Before we started rolling, I was telling Alex that a lot of times when we do this show, it's more organic and there's no filter. So when we say stuff like that, all Alex could do is just go, wow. So that's what he meant. Okay, cool. All right, well.
Well, shit.
Yo, when I was sitting there writing that shit earlier, I'm like, yo, bro, this is some funny shit. People gonna think I'm high when I was tweeting that shit, because I'm like, yo, it's the same shit.
I mean, but if you could be real, though, a lot of shows do that. There's a lot of shows that you could look at and be like, they do the same exact thing, just call it something different.
Yeah.
Like, How many spy movies have y'all seen?
Facts. I give you a big
Too
one.
many to count.
We
right?
had an episode about it. Fucking Friends and Living Single. It was just basically
It was the same thing,
Friends
right?
stealing from Living Single.
You got Mission Impossible, and you got any other spy movie that they've come out with in the past 5 years.
I would compare Mission Impossible probably like James Bond films.
Yeah, but where I'm going with it is, we're getting to a point in creativity where it's harder for people to come up with an original idea. Not in a bad way. It's just,
I wouldn't say harder. I just think that Hollywood's getting lazy.
I'm going with. I guess it could be an amalgamation of the two. Because if you think about it, like if I'm lazy and I don't really want to do nothing, and it's too hard, yeah, I'm gonna just take the easy route because that's the easier way to go about it. Same thing for music, same thing. Well, fashion's different because that's cyclical. Overalls was cool in the '90s, and everybody, oh, you got overalls, ha ha. And now they like $200 for some overalls that used to cost like $20, $30.
Yeah, but like, I don't even say Hollywood, entertainment in itself, because that's why you keep hearing all these fucking songs that's literally just sampled beats. Like, it was different when Kanye and them did it, when they sampled it and they made the beat its own. All this new shit is literally just the same fucking beat.
And then not for nothing, when they got the same beat,
yeah,
they be having the same freaking concept on like the chorus and the verses. It's like, yo, they literally did that already. Could we get something else? Like, I'm not saying it's not a good song, but like I heard somebody else do it the original way.
Yeah, that's why I don't like drill music neither. Every drill song is just a different beat with doom 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 doom.
That's every.
I don't hear that shit.
Like,
yo. Like, fuck New York, man. Yeah, I gotta get it together. We was here. And now you're like,
Yo, and now everybody's, fuck is you talking about? Like, that's New York is now. It's. You remember how everybody used to make fun of Jersey? Like, you go to Jersey, it's dirty, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's so many jokes you can make about New York now, and the only reason why is because they've done it. Like, they've become so one-dimensional. It's like is you dumb? They all say the same stuff. Like, there's no like differences in their mannerisms or nothing.
You heard that "Get the fuck out of New York" song?
Hey, yo!
You ever heard that shit? Have you heard that song?
Nah.
Get the fuck out of New York. What's in it? I can't remember that chick name, but fucking Busta Rhymes did a remix with her.
Wait, is that the one that not even trying to be funny? Is that the booty hole brown girl? No, there's really an artist right now. She says my pussy lips are pink and my booty hole brown or something like that.
Like, my booty hole. Ooh. Her name's Sexy Red, bro. That's her name, bro.
Yo, when I heard that, I'm like, wait, this is getting play. Like, because I didn't hear it on like some random pass by.
You know what I
heard on the radio.
I heard that shit on
which
TikTok.
means I know it's getting play. Which means that there are people who are listening to this going like, yo, that's tough.
I heard that shit on TikTok because somebody dubbed over the fucking SpongeBob clip from the movie when they were in the bar and they was trying to figure out who was from Weenie Hut Jr.
Oh my
so they put that song over it.
Yo, I'm only laughing because to date, that is one of the most inappropriate songs that's out right now. Even Khalees was like, my neck, my back. My pussy and my crack. But at least she says my neck and my back first. It's like, okay, so you about to, oh, okay. And then she got raunchy, right? You got Trina. She started off and then got real raunchy. This girl just come out the woodwork like, yo,
my booty hole brown.
You could have like gave us a simile or something. Nope, you gonna give us directly what you talking about.
And they pushing her, bro. I'm like, this.
But because she's New York.
Nah, that Sexy Red is from Miami.
Oh, okay. Then I'm thinking
the chick
I know who you're talking about. Then she actually didn't Busta Rhymes like repost her or something like that. Yeah. I don't know her name, but is that the one that did? I don't think Cardi. No, that's a different one. This is what I just said, right? Yeah. This is literally what I just said. I don't know which one is different because they all doing the same stuff. Know. But it's funny how we talk about the, sticking to one thing, right? Because today's episode, it's just funny how we could wordplay and then have it work, right? Today's episode is actually going to be about that very same concept, not about music, not about movies, not about your favorite sports team, but
more than one.
The concept of having one person, partner in your life, or a multitude of individuals, persons in your life. So let's jump right into it. We don't gotta do all the fluff.
I got a question for Alex.
Let's go ahead.
I got a question for Alex.
Throw the alley.
Since we are speaking on monogamy and polygamy, have you ever been in an open relationship?
No.
Has anyone ever asked you to be in one?
Plenty of times.
What was your response to it?
My response to it is just I just can't do it. I'm too greedy. I'm too greedy and I'm too needy. Those are my two main things when it comes to relationship. Like, I'm sorry.
So you want somebody all to yourself. They can't be with. Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Have you ever like considered it?
Have I thought about it? Yes. I thought about it in the past, but I feel like it was just not gonna get me anywhere good.
Okay. So how do you feel as far as people that choose to live their life that way?
I have no hate against it. I just like everyone has their own beliefs.
Okay.
Everyone has their own beliefs, and they feel like if they take that route, it will make the relationship stronger.
Okay.
So a couple years back, I've asked my questions to someone that wasn't in an open relationship, and asked so many questions, like, when did it happen? Like, what was the conversation between that? And I was pretty much told, like, well, this guy started cheating on me consistently for 10 years. Cheating on me for 10 years, and I just feel like, why don't we just bring in a third, just to like, brighten things up a bit, just to get that fire back up. And it's just been 3 for like another 10 years, and now they're married. Apparently.
All 3 of them?
Oh.
So your ex is in a polygamous relationship. Your ex is in a polygamous relationship.
No, this is someone told me.
Oh, someone
told me.
Okay.
No.
It could be you. He's like,
no,
I ain't with that shit. He's like, nah, not me.
No,
that
not me.
I mean, I get it. I've never been approached to be in like an open relationship. I have put thought into it, and for the same reason similar to what you just said, I don't think I would be able to like. My reasons are more selfish. I'm just gonna be real and be honest. When I was younger and I used to think about it, I used to always think like, man, might fucking my girl other than me, man. Am I doing that shit? But then as I get older and think about it, it's more so that, A, I wouldn't want the headache. Like, it's too much pleasing. Like, I'm not pleasing that many people. Like, it's hard enough to please my one girl. Like, I don't need to. I don't need to. B, it's just more so like, I just honestly think that for myself, it just wouldn't work even outside of the selfishness. Just more so just like overthinking certain situations. Then, like I said, getting into the whole it might be too much work. That's 2 people you have to learn inside and out. You might fuck around and do something one day that the other one doesn't like, but the other one does like. And now it's like, oh, I thought, blah, blah, blah. And imagine if you mess with both of them at the same time and then you say the wrong name in the wrong moment. And it's like, yo, what we doing here?
That's worse when they're twins.
Yo, you know somebody who was in a polygamous relationship with twins?
Yes.
We don't name drop on this show, so don't worry about it, Alex. Don't worry about that.
That's crazy. Twins out here doing that?
Yep.
It's kind of sick.
You say it's kind of sick, but I can promise you, if there was a twin, let's say you were single. I'm talking to single Sean. I'm not talking to in relationship Sean.
Okay.
There was one of the twins approached you, right? Y'all talking, chatting it up, whatever. One day she says, I have a woman that looks just like me. It's my twin. You wouldn't do it.
No.
Okay.
I've dated a twin before. I know that if they're not with that polygamy shit, that's a setup. They want to see if you're attracted to their twin, which killed me.
And that is stupid because let me tell you, if you're going to set me up like that, guess
You
what?
sound like me.
Guess what?
He said it, not me. He said it.
Guess what? And then it's going to come to me like, I can't believe you did that. No, I can't believe you did that. You know I am not smart enough to know the difference between the 2 of y'all, and you're going to get mad at me about that. It's just to Sean's point. I cannot personally. I personally could never be in a polygamous relationship for like the combo of what y'all said. I am too greedy for that. The thought of another man doing anything with my woman, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm too jealous for that. Like, even if we talk about it and we say that these are the rules, no.
You gonna come in the house?
I'm gonna come in the house and be mad. I'm gonna come in the house ready to fight. We talked about this. No, we didn't. We ain't talk about that. You ain't say you was gonna do that.
She gonna be singing to the other dude, my pussy pink, my pussy They gonna be the quarterback.
I'm like, yo, you don't never sing that song to me.
You gonna be mad as hell when she comes in and say, like, that's how you gonna feel. Yo, dude, why you put this shit on?
Yo, Steve ain't have me crying, bro.
Yo, oh shit. I love that song. Yo, that is my shit.
Yo.
Shout out to Seal, bro.
Nah, bro. I couldn't. And the only reason why I know, like, if I'm talking to somebody, that's a little different. Like, it's like, let's say we were talking for like a couple weeks or something. Like that's not even like, because it's so new. My issue is I know you now. Like, and I actually have feelings for you. And you're going to have somebody else. And again, that's why people who do it, I know for them it works. Like, it must work because they're doing it. But I've seen like a, y'all ever seen that show? I think it's called Couples Therapy. I think that's the actual name of the show.
On VH1?
Yeah. Literally, they have couples that go in there, talk about their problems and stuff like that. This one couple, they would never be able to like ever be on the same page, and they started off with an open relationship. Which again, like Alex said, it's like you like what you like, you do what you do. If it works for y'all, that's fine. But you can see in that relationship, the problem was he and her were so invested in other people, they weren't worried about how to please each other. But they got married. So you're married in an open relationship, and your partner doesn't even care to learn what's, egging you on or getting you upset or whatever. So long, like, for example, they went out to dinner one time and she was trying to like re-spark the things in their relationship. So she was being flirtatious and stuff, and he started being silly. Now, most silly people, I'm silly too, but there's a time and a place. So like she's trying to relight this fire so y'all can get back on the same page. And she said he was at the table like winking all weird, and she's like, you ruined it. Like, but he says like, oh, but this is who I am, and blah, 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 blah. I personally think when you have multiple people, psychologically speaking, people might not say this, but you don't try as hard, because it's like, God forbid this don't work, I still got somebody else on the back burner. Yeah. And then if I tell them that I do open relationships, then I can get me another open thing. And it's like, how can you focus on somebody, your husband, your wife, whatever? How can you focus on them if you've got multiple people? Like you said, you got multiple personalities, multiple this and multiple that. How am I gonna keep up with that? Someone's gonna be unhappy. Someone's gonna be really unhappy.
Yeah. And it's funny we talk about Pussy Pank, Booty Hole Brown Girl, because NLE Chopper made a song with her. And if you don't know who that is, it don't matter. He's a trash rapper. That's opinionated. That's subjective. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that, because some people out there.
You can have an opinion, bruh.
But some people out there might like him. So
that sounds like a them problem.
To me, he fucking sucks. But anyway,
there you go.
He just did that to his baby mother. He told her that because he's young. Like, he's young as hell.
Oh, I know that story.
Yeah.
And she's older.
She's 26.
Yeah.
He just turned 20. So he told her, like, yo, I want an open relationship. She was with it because she didn't want to lose him. But then the open relationship turned into him like, yo, man, I just want to fuck other bitches, and I don't want to be in a relationship at all. So he broke up with her, then went back, got her pregnant, told her he wanted to have a baby with her. She believed it, got her pregnant, and then he walked away. But my thing is, like, I'm not saying it for all of them, but I do know multiple people that are in open relationships, and I know for some of them, it was more so for his reasons. They just wanted to dibble and dabble in everything they could because they wanted to, and that was the way to do it without all the guilt of cheating. Mm-hmm. But in a lot of those cases, they end up fucking up anyway, because yes, it's open, but open doesn't necessarily mean you could just go out here and just wild out whenever. There's structure to it. In most open relationships, they're talking about, hey, I'm dealing with this person. That case, you like, so you know that this person's being clean in what they're doing. You ain't got to worry about them bringing nothing back home. You ain't got to worry about nobody going off the deep end. So, but in a lot of cases, you see this shit, and then people just out here just, how you cheat in an open relationship?
See, that's a good question, because is it cheating?
It is, though, because you put in the open relationship, there's supposed to be some form of communication about the openness. So if you decide to hold that in, it's cheating.
I mean, I guess. But then someone who's going to listen to this be like, I be telling my girl I cheat on her all the time, but she still call it cheating. Like, she don't call it open relationship.
She didn't agree to that shit, you fucking nincompoop. But nah, like, so, but I understand people's thought processes and mindsets, and just in shit that I've read up on, things I've learned in school, especially in college. I took a women's studies class in my last year at William Patterson, and the professor defined herself as a feminist, but she was with all of that. She didn't believe in monogamy. She didn't think we were built to be with one person. She didn't believe in people who decide to save themselves for marriage. She we had this one girl in our class, and shout out, I ain't gonna put her name out there because she actually watches the show, but she be cool. So I know she's not gonna have an issue with me saying this, but we were in the class and she was saving herself for marriage. So we were having like a round table discussion, and she brings it up in front of everybody, like, "Hey, yeah, like I haven't done anything yet. You know, I'm saving myself." So my professor was like, "For what?" She was like, "You know, for the right person, for marriage." So she's like, "What happens if you get married and your husband doesn't know how to fuck?" I'm like, that's a good ass question.
Well,
I'm like, that's a good ass question.
Oh yeah, she said she was saving herself.
But then one of the other girls was like, "Well, she wouldn't know because she's never done it.
She wouldn't know the difference. That's true.
But my professor was like, "Nah, she would know."
She wouldn't though.
She would know. But
how would she?
But his even other argument she had, and I'm like, that makes sense too. Some people that put themselves in those positions then start thinking like, yo, I haven't tested the waters. What if this isn't good, but I think it is?
Hey, listen, don't get me started on that. If you make that vow before God, you better just be like, damn, it's an L I got to hold for the rest of my life. Because if you're gonna leave your partner because they're trash at sex, and your goal was, I'm not having sex until I get married, this is going to sound very bad, but it is what it is. Yeah, you got to eat that. Because if the case of the point is, you didn't want to do it because you wanted to save yourself. You did. And now it's not as good as you thought it was going to be.
Look at Jessica Simpson.
What happened with Jessica Simpson?
You forgot. She was a virgin when she married Nick Lachey. Mm-hmm. He hit and was like, "Oh, this shit trash." And he left. That is not what happened.
I was going to say, that's what happened? I mean, in Nick Lachey's
coincidentally
case, though, did he really, like, trade up?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm going based off what I seen because I actually watched that show. I forget her name.
Vanessa.
Yeah,
but all them shows they host all them.
Not, but shows. All I'm saying is like based on like this was probably like way left in terms of like their relationship. But yo, she is not a good host for these shows.
She sucks.
Did you watch
the reunion?
Yeah. Did you watch the show?
Yes.
You watch Love Is Blind? Mm-mm. You're not missing nothing. Have you ever seen like Married at First Sight?
No.
Let me ask you another question. Do you watch a lot of TV, Alex?
I do.
Titans. You heard them?
So it has to be DC related only?
DC or Marvel related for the most part.
All right, so we got to talk.
I mean, yo, I could respect it because it's not like you missing anything with these shows that I'm naming.
Oh, hold up. Before we get back into the discussion, I got a question. We talked about it last episode.
We did. I hope.
What movie to you is better? Thor: Dark World or Iron Man 3?
I might have to say Iron Man 3.
Thank you. Thor Dark World is
I am
ass,
going
bro.
to die on this hill. As you know, I am a stubborn individual. And you ain't just, I am not going to just be like, you know what? Since everybody else saying it, no, I'm sticking to what I said. I personally think that Iron Man 3, and I believe because of these drops, Steve agrees with y'all too. We'll talk to Steve afterwards to see how Steve feels. Because I know him and Marv watch Marvel too. So I'm going to talk to them. But if I'm by myself, that's fine. I do not think that Iron Man 3 was better than Thor: Dark World. I just don't. I just don't.
Captain Marvel was better than Thor: Dark World.
See, first of all, don't do that because the Marvels movie is coming out,
I have faith,
and I'm actually excited to see that.
Faith in that.
I'm excited to see that.
Listen, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3 yet?
Yeah.
Loved it.
Oh, I saw it. I finally checked it out. I checked it out. Yeah.
Wasn't it amazing though?
I get exactly what you were saying. Of the three, because last episode he said that the third one is the best installment, and I was like, I haven't seen it to really judge. He's right. He's right.
It restored my faith in Marvel movies because I don't like what they're doing as far as pushing a lot of it towards the younger generation. I understand it sounds very old headish of me to say that,
yeah, bro.
But I'm like, because I didn't like Miss Marvel as a show. I watched every episode. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it. Moon Knight was okay. Could have been better. Mm-hmm. They did their thing with Winter Soldier and Captain America.
Yeah, we don't argue about that one. That one we agree on.
Loki was fire. I didn't like the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, but then it picked up.
I was gonna say you ain't like WandaVision. I like WandaVision, but I get what you mean by the first.
The first 3 episodes were pissing me off because I'm like, it wasn't like, oh, where they going with this? It was like, I see what they're doing, but it's not needed.
Yo,
especially if they don't give us multiple episodes a week.
But you got to remember contracts and stuff like that. They was probably contracted to do 10 episodes or whatever, so they had to like give it a slow start. Because once it got started,
but that shit was
joint was moving once it got started.
But it went so slow, it almost. I remember tweeting like, "Yo, if this is how this show's gonna be, I'm not watching episode 4."
You know why I was gonna keep watching it? Because there wasn't shit else on TV, and now there still ain't nothing on TV to stream. So I will easily rewatch Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes. When it comes on Disney Plus.
No, I'm gonna go back to the movies and see it.
See, I'm not spending $20 on another movie ticket.
Listen, that's why I told you what to do.
You need to get on the A-list.
See, you know
Hell no, bro. You don't
know, okay? You don't know. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. No. He has to know.
Has to know. Nah, but seriously though, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was really good. Really good. You know what Guardians of the Galaxy 3 made me realize? Whoever the writer is, James Gunn, right?
Yeah.
Gunn. I know he's Gunn. Yeah. I know he's not doing any more of these.
But he's now the head of DC.
But that's what they were saying. What's his face? I don't know. I know his real name, but I just don't think about it right now. Peter Quill said he's not coming back because out of respect to James Gunn.
No, they're not doing any more Guardian movies.
Exactly.
But he's going to be in Marvel movies.
No,
he is.
He said... Chris Pratt, there's his name. He said that he's done unless it's out of respect for James Gunn. But he did say he's not coming back to the Guardians franchise.
Exactly.
But what other movie is he gonna pop up in?
Did you see the end of the movie?
I did.
The credit scene.
I saw all of it.
So you saw what it said?
Yeah.
They're gonna recast his role.
But where are they going to put him? That's going to make sense.
Secret Wars still has to come out.
He's not involved in that.
But they're going to force him to be in that.
But he's not involved in that.
You do understand they're going to force him into it.
If he's not under contract, they can't force him to do anything.
Well, what do you think?
I have a guess. They're probably going to bring him back in Avengers.
That I could see. But there would be the new Avengers who aren't going to know who he is. So maybe there's a storyline behind it.
Star-Lord is?
They won't, because who else? Because remember, they're done with all the other phases. All the other characters are done.
You have to watch the shows.
But
in each of the shows, somehow, some way, they know the intricate details of that last battle with Thanos. In every show, they brought it up.
They gloss over it. No, they don't bring up actual details.
Hawkeye, did you watch Hawkeye?
I did.
They literally had all of them in the play.
Well, that's because Hawkeye told his peoples. Like, that's his daughter in them.
But people know about it, though.
Because Hawkeye was involved with it.
Hawkeye wasn't in the play, Dante.
He wasn't in the play?
No.
What play?
Look, did you watch the show?
I thought you were talking about a movie. What play?
Did you watch the show?
Nah, not all of it.
Oh,
clearly, if there's a play. I didn't know there was a play. I thought it was a show.
Anyway, in the show... There's a play about what happened with the Avengers.
Yeah. And who's in the play?
Other actors from the show.
Now I'm confused. Why they do the play?
Because there's a joke inside of the show.
Oh, okay. So they know about it because the writers made them know about it, is what I'm understanding?
No, basically, when the shit went down, somehow, some way, they don't get into that. But even in Eternals, did you see Eternals?
I saw Eternals.
They all knew what the fuck happened in that fight.
Well, that's different because they're mythical. They're mystic. I'm
not talking about the heroes. I'm talking about regular people who live on Earth.
Yeah, because they got blipped. They remember I wasn't here for a good while, and then I had to come back, and now I'm here. This is what it's like dealing with me, Alex. Absolutely. I'm very stubborn and hard-headed.
He's still fighting his argument.
If I get up on that hill, I'm going to die on it. That is me.
What to pull off that shit?
Like I said, I'm going to die on that hill.
Oh, my God. Anyway... So they all know, and even if they didn't, because the one thing, if I'm going to be picky, that I didn't like about Guardians is what they did with Adam Warlock. I didn't like it.
Yo, watered down, bro. Sorry, I don't want to ruin it for everybody who ain't see it.
It's obvious from the because for as strong as a character as he is in the comics, and I don't even read the comics like that, but I know enough to know he was up there. He
Adam
used to fight
Warlock
Thanos by himself.
Is a top contender, bro.
He used to literally fight Thanos by himself. And then for them to do what they did with him, it's like, damn.
I know. I saw him. I was like...
It's kind of like what they did with
when he first
the villain in Iron Man 3.
Okay, you go with your Mandarin shit. You know, they supposed to be remaking it. He's actually supposed to be the Mandarin.
Good. Because then I'll like it.
Acting about acting.
I hated that.
Shit.
I hated it.
Here
we go again. Listen,
but back to the topic.
That's your fault. I wasn't going off on that tangent. That was your fault.
Back to the topic. All right, so we spoke on open relationships and polygamy.
Yes.
Now, I was getting into the girl and my college professor. So she basically said that she doesn't believe that us as human beings are meant to be with one person. I was with her all the way up to that point because I believe that for each his own. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a standard of to how many people you want to be with or who you want to be with.
I'm a firm believer on do what makes you happy.
Exactly. And she was like, oh, she tried to cover my neck when I said that. She's like, oh, that's cute. I'm like, oh my God, don't be one of those people who is stuck in their opinion and can't see what other people are saying. That shit aggravates me. Like, have an open mind. Be open-minded.
I have a theory.
What's that?
About open relationships.
Okay.
Alex brought up a good point. Knowing that gentleman that got cheated on for 10 years straight, I don't have enough evidence to back this up. But what I've seen is a lot of people who get into these is because they want to guard themselves. And they're like, if I have multiple ways to travel, I can't get cheated on because it's an open relationship. So if I just don't want to do this anymore, I'll just, do this with someone else. It's easy because maybe, and I don't know, but it's just, for me, it's hard to see not wanting to spend, like, growing old with somebody. Having your partner become your best friend to the point where it's like, I would love to do this with you. But having that one person that you can just call when things are, not going right. Like, me personally, I'm a very private person. That might also be what it is. Like, if I'm not having a good day or whatever, there's only one person I want to call. That's my girl. Like, if I'm having a really rough day, I don't want to talk to nobody else. I'll talk to her. Mm-hmm. But I can't imagine sharing that mindset with, like, 2 or 3 other women.
Like, imagine, especially if you in an open relationship and you're the other man. Like, imagine you having a really hard day, rough day at work, and you come home and all the feeling that you want, she's giving to the other dude, and you gotta sit there and wait your turn. I'm like, I'm gonna go play Madden.
That's all I can do, right? And I can't complain about it because this is what I signed up for. If I'm gonna have a headache, I want it to be my only headache. All right, I don't want 3 and 4 headaches. I don't want I'll just wait till you guys are done. No, because as the man that I am, I ain't about to sit around and I gotta wait my turn to talk. No, not doing that. Not doing that. As soon as I get in the house, your turn is up. You gotta go. You gotta go to the other room.
That's why I live. Like, get your little ass out of here.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Get the fuck out right now.
Talk about something. Oh no, we can't hang out on the weekend. Why not? Oh, I'm going on a date with him. No. Now me and him are gonna be boxing before y'all go out. So I don't know if y'all gonna make that date. It's not gonna happen,
You ever
bro.
seen that Spike Lee movie?
Which one?
She Has to Have It.
Yes, they made it into a show.
Yeah, that shit pisses me off.
I hate it.
I'm watching that shit. I'm like, so when they all found out about each other, and then she was like, I'm just dating all y'all, and then started like, I'm like, yo.
And he was like, okay. Yo, you gonna introduce me to the other dudes that you dating? Guess what? You got 2 choices. Either you drop them and it's just me and you, or you continue what you're doing and I leave. Yeah. Those are the only 2 choices. I'm not sticking around for that.
You can live your life. I'm not going to tell you not to.
Because I'm also not competing with nobody else. Like, I'm not doing this whole, like, I got to jump through hoops because old boy doing something that she want me to do. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, let's be all the way real. That's another fear, too. You in a polygamous relationship, you're the other man.
I know what you're going to say.
And she be like, yo, he fuck better than you. His dick bigger than you. I was like, whoa.
Ain't that from a what's the phase, a battle rap? He's like, I fuck better than you. I fuck better than you. I look better than you. I drive a better car than you. I got more money than you. Nah, bro. Like, again, I don't care. I know people going to watch this like, yo, his ego, man. I don't care. Because let me tell you something. If it happens when we're not together, hey, it's an L. You got something better. Cool. But we're together. And you like, well, he be doing this and that. No, because now I'm going to start getting aggressive. Because I'm not doing that. You telling me I got to do what he does. Then be with him. No, but I want both of y'all. Now you pissing me off. Okay? Because I don't want to do that.
But that's also what plays into it as well. Because I think I think a lot of people are scared to have that conversation when they first meet somebody. Mm-hmm. Because if you want to be in an open relationship, that's your right to do that.
Absolutely.
You got to speak on it. A lot of people be truly feeling that way and get into these relationships and won't say anything until they get caught doing something. Well, this is how I live, blah, blah. Tell me. Because at that point, it's my choice to deal with it or not deal with it. And you have to live with that consequence. You can't hold something back just because you think you're going to lose me. That's life. Like, and I hate when people do that in the same sense, because you can, I know it's not smart to do it, but at the same time, like, if you approach somebody with that mindset and you want to be in a relationship with them, but you possibly might want to be in an open relationship with them, you can still somewhat keep that person in your life on a friend level. But by lying to them, you ruin all of that. Because if you look at me and be like, hey, I want to be in an open relationship, and I look at you like, no, I'm good.
That's
right
it.
there. We ain't got to be cool right in the moment. But I might run into you a couple years down the line. You might be happy as hell with your partners. I'm like, hey, how you doing, girl? What's good? Like, and just leave it at that. But I think that's what ultimately fucks people up, because they don't like to speak on things because they feel like someone's either going to judge them, or, like I said, they just run that fear. They let that fear of losing that person run them and all their decision making, and that shit's not good.
That's why I feel like communication is a big part in any relationship. So when someone goes into an open relationship, that, you know, there's a lot more to that of why they want to add more people into it. But this is the rules. Like, tell me who it is. You tell me who it is. Cool. Then it is what it is. That's like as long as you tell me who it is and he's clean, he's good, then let's do that.
That's like how Wonder Woman be fucking with Batman and Superman.
Stop. Yo, I will never, ever, ever forget the voiceover that they did. Have you seen that? It's like it's a throwback. You've seen it. Oh, when they do the I actually follow him on YouTube. You know, he's like, I actually follow him on YouTube, and he does like a bunch of skits. He's the same dude that does NBA voiceovers.
Are you talking about when Batman gets beat up?
Yes. And he gets like, he's in the medical bay and he's laying there like this. He's like, I told y'all, he ain't got no damn powers. He was like, go on YouTube when we done with this and type in Batman parody.
Okay.
It's by a guy named It's Real. I think it's like It's Real 85 vids or something like that. His voiceover game, he does a bunch of different stuff, but when he does that one, you watch DC, so you're gonna get just how funny it is.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Martian Manhunter walked in and was like, I told you not to go out there. He's like, both of y'all seen this shit happen, why you ain't do that?
And it's like a real Justice League episode. Like, he's literally laying down like he just got into a really serious fight. And Superman walks in, he's like, man, I told you, you're not like that, bro. Like, you ain't even got no powers, man.
As he walking out, he was like, you bitch.
He's like, do something about it then. He was like, you know what, man, it's not funny. And he does like a voice over him like crying when he walks out of the room and stuff. Check it out when we done. Because you like DC, so I think you'll enjoy that.
So, yeah. But the other question I wanted to ask both of you, and I'll start with you, Alex. Do you believe that monogamy is dying?
In the LGBT community, yes.
Why is that?
I've noticed that, you know, like, I've noticed like up to like probably like 2 years ago, I've noticed that everyone that I've known that were in a committed relationship with just one person, they just started. I've asked them like, you know, how's life going? Like, how's your man doing? I'm like, oh yeah, me and my man are doing good, but we just started coming with a third. I'm like, what you mean with a third? What does that mean? The relationship was dying. Like, the spark wasn't there. So we just wanted to have a third. And I'm like, huh. And then ever since then, I've just noticed everyone's doing it. It's like a trend. It's a trend. So I'm like what happened to just loving just one person?
Do you think that since it's more acceptable in society now to live in your truth, that people are just like running wild with it compared to back in the day where a lot of people were still, you know, closeted or not really open about their sexuality?
I feel that, you know, they're just gonna do what they want to do. I think how the world is now, I feel like they're just gonna be open to do whatever they want to do. I think just how the world is now, if that makes any sense.
I get what you're saying.
So they feel like they're just gonna be free to do whatever. So
because it's truly like that across the board.
Yeah,
it's happening. Fucking like.
It's like what is loyalty nowadays? What is that?
that I'm glad that Alex said it, because that was going to be my thing. Like, communities as a whole, right? Just people in general. Think about the way that, like, the old school did relationships. See, I think about, like, my grandma and my grandfather. They used to argue about the dumbest stuff. The dumbest. Like, she would yell at him because he left the toilet seat up. He'd yell at her because she put a dish over here, whatever the case is. But they wasn't like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. Someone else is going to be better than this. I'm not dealing with that shit.
It's easier to leave your relationship.
Yo, it's so easy for people to just, like, cut people off now.
But you know why, though?
Yeah.
It's so easy. Why?
Social media.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely. If this person is disturbing your peace, cut them off right away. It's like, bro, like, this is somebody you've known since you were in diapers or whatever the case is. And it's like, oh, nah, but they're just not aligning with me. They're ruining my peace. Did you have a conversation with them? Oh, I don't have to. My peace is more important. It's like, but this is a person that you claim to love. And now it's like, oh, I'm more important. I don't feel like dealing with it. It sounds a little cowardice, if I could be honest. Like, you don't want to have that conversation, or are you scared of it? You don't want to? Like, what's the reason? It's weird to me.
And it's more to the social media aspect with relationships as well, because, you know, if you follow a certain type of people on social media, you'll start to believe that, oh, I could potentially get with or be with this person that I'm following, blah, blah, blah. And even if you know deep down there's no fucking chance of it, in your mind, you'll start really truly believing that shit, and then you'll start to question the person you're with, like, damn, can I do better? Should I be doing better? And not really sitting there accepting the fact that you've already got exactly what the fuck you need in this. Let it go. Like, you have to be mentally mature to handle a lot of the shit that comes across your phone screen. And a lot of people just aren't. Like I'm putting it out there. Me and my girl yells at me all the time for, like, liking other women's pictures and all that. And I have to constantly tell her, for the most part, I understand where she's coming from, but she has to understand the fact that when I like it, it's not me, like, hitting them up like, oh, I'm about to try to fuck one of them or try to mess with none of them. It's just like, oh, I have eyes, like, they're attractive. I'm not gonna act on it. But that's the issue. A lot of people don't have that mindset to not act on this shit, and a lot of people don't have fucking loyalty. And then if opportunity present themselves to do some dumb shit, they gonna end up doing it. So I think it's just easier to fucking do that now because of how social media is. And then, like, a lot of people use social media as like a fucking therapist, and they shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be putting nothing up on IG, Twitter, none of that stuff.
Like, Alex, are you a Grand Rising person?
A what?
Like, when you talk to people, like, Grand Rising?
Instead of good morning, do you say Grand Rising? That's where he's going with this.
No.
That is so... I hate people who say Grand Rising.
Wait,
like, I remember I used to see that Grand Rising, kings and queens. It's like, oh God, here we go.
That's how Alex was lying. He talked to his boyfriend like that. He was like, Grand Rising king.
No.
Grand Rising
I
is...
never heard of that. Sorry.
It is so pretentious. Grand Rising. Like, I feel like there's just too much behind that.
We're in the Game of Thrones episode.
Yeah, like, what are we doing here?
You gonna get home, you gonna tell me to bend the knee? What the fuck are we doing, dog?
But to your point about loyalty, I also think it has something to do with knowing who you are as a person.
Facts.
Right? Like, I know what I like, and I know how I want things to go. I'm not gonna lie. My girl that I'm with now, I literally asked for. I asked for her. I said, I want me a woman who I find visibly beautiful.
Why you keep lying, though?
I'm not. Oh God, here we go. Her name is Infinity. He calls her Thanos, and he's gonna say that she used the Infinity Stones. Go ahead. I saw the episode. So that's where he was going with it. I'm popping that bubble before you even get a chance to do it.
Listen, let me tell you. You know how I knew that Dante had met the one? So I had an Infinity Gauntlet in my house. So being an asshole, I thought she was gonna say no. I handed it to her. I'm like, yo, you can have this if you want it. And she took it. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna use this shit every time Dante says something stupid. I'm like,
man, she really be at home with this damn glove on, yo. She like, you said something?
Yo, shout out to Finn. Shout out to big homie Thanos.
It's always shout out to the big homie.
Dante live with the whole Titan.
But it's like, for me to now say, like, you know what? I don't like the fact that you blink the way that you do. I can't do this anymore, right? That to me is so weird. Like, you asked for something, you got it, and now it's like, but that's the same way I feel about people who get jobs that they don't like. Like, when people who are angry when they're a waiter or a waitress. I'm not like dissing anybody's profession. I'm saying when you line up and you actively sign this contract to be on a job, why are you upset with me that you're here today or that you're taking my order? And again, it's not shitting on anybody. It's just there are other jobs that you can get,
Like,
right?
shut up, bitch, and make my chicken.
There are other jobs that you can get, but I know that, so I don't take that job. I would never work at McDonald's. Not because I think it's a terrible job. It's just because people don't know how to be people. They walk in there acting like you're supposed to serve them because you're at a counter.
I think
y'all wilding. The way they be ordering some of these people, yo. No, I know I would get fired on the first day. That's why I never worked at fast food.
That's why I got out of retail and sales and shit like that, because even in my job now, like, we deal with irate families and shit like that, but in the position I'm in now, I can be like, yo, you ain't gonna talk like that, or we just gonna cut services. Like, chill.
That's it.
But
I ain't doing none of that.
at the same time, like, you run into it from time to time because people are just inherently and naturally rude for the most part.
Oh yeah.
So, like I said, that I got out of retail for that sole purpose. And on top of that, fucking, crazy customers, the store closed at 9, they want to walk in at 8:56.
Yeah, I stopped
And then
doing
fuck
that.
the store up.
I ain't gonna hold you. I used to not fuck the store up. I used to walk in there and try to get some last minute shit right before they close.
But that's the whole. But that's different because when people normally do that, they know what they want. They go in. We'll let you guys in, and you go right to where you're getting. Get it, pick it up, go to the register. Cool.
Motherfuckers be used to walking in and browsing.
Yo, dog. It's fucked up. I'm not going to say the type of people that used to do it because it might come off as something else. Dante knows what I'm talking about. I'll tell you afterwards, Alex. I'll tell you afterwards, Alex. But there's people I'm talking about.
I remember where you were.
Because it was all, it's fucked up because, like, I went to school for sociology, so I just naturally study shit like this. It was always the same type of people. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? The store closed at 9. They would walk in at 8:56, like, hey, I know what I'm getting, and be lying. And they'll go in and literally browse like we're open for another hour. Like, sir, ma'am, the store's closing. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay. It's 9 o'clock.
Niggas start mopping over their feet.
But, it's customer service. We can't just kick them out.
Ma'am, and they know that.
And they know that. Ma'am, the store's closing. Okay. Mind your store closed at 9. Okay, it's 9:15. Ma'am, the store's closing.
Bruh.
All right. Cool, it's 9:30. Ma'am!
Hold on, just one more thing. I'm right down the aisle. I'm gonna go get it.
Then,
Can I get a fitting room open?
shit like that. And then they'll be like, we don't need it. We don't need it. And they'll be like, we don't need it. And then
Like, you know what? It was actually another store that I saw that
Yeah,
said.
like, then, yo, real talk.
Yeah.
I worked in Famous Footwear for 3.5 years. I managed one of the stores.
Oh my goodness.
Anybody who knows Famous Footwears, they have name brand shoes, but they don't carry the top tier of that brand. So they'll have like,
Yeah, Rocco.
So Rocco, what's up?
Yes, sir.
But they'll have like Nikes, but they won't have like Kyrie or Kevin Durant sneakers. So we would have people coming in the store looking for those, but won't ask. They would just rummage through all the shit and be like, yo, let me fuck the store up and then ask, hey, do you have this? And I'd be looking at them like, fuck, we asked that shit when you came in here. Because now, we were supposed to close at 9. We're closing at 9:30. We have to clean the store before we leave, which means now we're not getting out of this bitch. It's like 10-something.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
You was ruining my night.
Yep.
Kudos.
That's why I couldn't work at those places.
That's why I left retail. I'm like, I can't do this
So
shit anymore.
disrespectful.
I remember the only retail-ish job I've ever had is at Five Below. When I was in high school, I worked there. I think I told you this story before. I wanted to work on the register so bad. I just wanted to handle the money. But they never let me work on the register. Never.
They knew you wanted to handle the money too bad.
But then one day I walked from, because I used to do like, I'd break down the boxes, put the stuff on the shelf in the back, so when they just, like, when they're ready, they could bring it out to the front. I remember walking out there one day during the holiday rush season. I said, no, I get it. Thank you, God. Thank you for not putting me out here. Because, yo, the floor was a mess. And I never had to clean it up because I was only dealing with stuff in the back. So I was like cleaning up boxes and stuff like that. When I'm ready to go, they knew. When I'm done in the back, I'm going. I don't give a damn how old I am. I was like 17 at the time. I'm going. Y'all said that this is my job. My job done. Dante, can you stay for a little bit and help us clean? Nah, my job is done. Needless to say, I didn't last there very long. It was literally just the Christmas season because I'm a firm believer on if you want me to do other people's job, you need to pay me more. That's just how I operate. I'll do it, yeah, but I'm not doing it for just my salary. I'll do my stuff and someone else's stuff for more money. Absolutely.
Plus,
absolutely.
I didn't like working weekends, and
oh yeah,
I'm a diehard Jets fan, so I used to lie about.
You used to work they used to try to make you work every Sunday.
No. So when I worked at the assisted living home, I lied to them and told them I had classes on Sundays. I literally printed a whole schedule out with a Sunday course on it. I no fucking Sunday classes, but that was how I had to get my Sundays off.
What was it, Microsoft Word?
So when I went, when I went to the shoe store, it's like, yeah, the managers have to work every other Sunday. Mm-hmm. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, because I need to watch Jets game. There was a point in life where I hadn't missed a Jets game in almost 9 years. So me and my boss will always be at odds because she got to a point where she tried to schedule me on every Thursday because she didn't like me. Excuse me, every Sunday because she didn't like me. I'm like, you know what, man?
See, it was because you was trying to be polygamous. That's why you should have worked on that monogamy, bruh.
Listen, where we at? Right here, the camera. Dante's making shit up. That is not what happened. Okay.
See, what had happened was, that's how you know I'm not telling the truth. Maybe anybody who knows me, as soon as I say, see what had happened, I can promise you. I probably ain't telling you.
It was funny. I got fired from that job because I fell asleep, crashed my car.
That's not funny.
That's not funny.
You said fall asleep. That's why I was about to smirk. And then you said the other part. I was like, yeah, that didn't happen.
She kicked me while I was down the craziest way. So
go ahead, tell it. I remember this story.
I'll be quick. So it is accountability. Got to accept accountability. Mm-hmm. It's 90% my fault. I got into the accident. I didn't get badly injured, but I had a limp because the gas pedal, when I hit the tree I hit, jammed into my foot. Mm-hmm. So obviously it was sore. I could walk on it, but I would feel it, so I was limping. So then she was like, well, I can't have you walking around the store like that, so you have to be at the register. Famous Footwear had this rewards program to where every dollar you spent is a point. Every 5 points, you get a certain dollar amount off your shoe. So if you get to 100 points, you're already getting $40 off of your order. And Famous Footwear don't have expensive ass shoes. So the fucked up part then we did to boost our numbers was that some people will come in and sign up for the reward system, but if they don't give you an email, it doesn't count. So we would add emails to it and then just use their number to plug their rewards in so they can get the points. But then you have those customers who would come there at one time, sign up, and never come back. So when we needed to get our numbers up, we would scan that fucking rewards card. I was broke. So my broke ass noticed that this card we were using had over 10,000 points on it. I'm like, fuck that. Then Famous signed a contract with Nike, so they started getting better shit. I still have those 2 pair of sneakers I got from the shit. Long story short, I basically took the points from that card and got myself 2 pair of sneakers added with my employee discount. So I think I ended up spending like $5 on these sneakers. So my old boss, let me tell you how evil of a bitch she is. And I'll be quick too. She literally knew I was graduating from college and tried to make me work on my graduation day. She did not fuck with me. Moving on. So when I crashed my car and she knew I needed the job to get a new car, she basically started looking in the cameras on all the days I was at the register. And that's how she caught that shit. Just by looking to be an asshole. And instead of just flat out saying like, yo, we caught you, she basically tried to walk me into the lie. She's like, LaShawn,
hate people who do that, bro.
She's like, LaShawn, how do you think you lost money for the company? So I'm sitting there thinking of legit reasons, like,
I don't know. You tell me.
Maybe I missed the sale.
I hate when people do that, yo.
She's like, anything else? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she had me on camera doing the transaction. Wow. And I looked at her, I'm like, why the fuck can you just leave with this? Like, what are we doing here?
I hate people who do that. Yeah. I know we getting ready to wrap up, but I really, that's a big pet peeve of mine when people do. So tell me, don't do that. Just tell me what you know so we can have this discussion. I don't like all that beat around the bush, the fluff stuff. I don't like all that. I don't like all that.
Karma's a motherfucker though, because I used to Uber too, and then one of my Uber rides coincidentally ended up being her daughter, and I dropped her off at a bar, and she was definitely only like 19. Underage.
Well, y'all, With that being said, we get to the unfortunate part of being the end of the episode. Before we wrap everything up, y'all know we like to do little recaps and things. Alex, plug your stuff in one more time for the people them so they just know where to follow you, find you at.
Instagram, ITZ_Lex.
Absolutely. We thank you for coming on to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Lex
One
also-
thing that we want to say before we get out of here is whatever makes you happy, keep doing that, but make sure you're not harming anybody else in the pursuit of your own happiness. We are people at the end of the day. We should start looking out for each other a lot more than we do.
Yes.
However, whatever makes you happy, make sure...
Nah, don't be evil.
Don't be evil. Don't do that. But definitely make sure you hold yourself accountable, like you said.
Yeah.
And if you fucking up, well, sometimes you gotta look in the mirror. You might not like what you see, but in order to get better, sometimes you gotta do it.
Big facts.
But no talent beats, brother. Please do us a favor and play us out. Thank you so much.